Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, guys, we're covering the hot topics on Transformers Earth Wars. And as always, guys, if you've got any questions, anything at all, stick it in the chat and I will do my best to answer it. So, what is in today's stream? So, we are going to be taking a look at Sideways. There has been a bit of a change. So we're going to talk about whether it's made him better or not, and whether it's made him worth going for, because the last review was pretty damning. So we're going to be taking a look at him and making a bit of a judgment on what's changed and whether it's worth it or not. We're also looking at a combiner that the team are looking at as improving. I presume to bring out as a 5-star version. We're going to take a look at that and deciding what he really needs. We're taking a look at a couple of bots as well that are in playtest for being legacies, I believe. So take a look at them as well and judging what they actually need to maybe be relevant again. And then we're going to try and settle the Quintus argument once and for all. A lot of people like him on Gunners, some people like him on Warriors. We talked about it last week. So we're talking a bit about that and making a judgment on where is best to put them and going from there. Cool. Could everyone just confirm that I'm live? Because it says go live on my screen, but I'm pretty sure that I'm live. Let me know, guys. Before I start saying hellos. Someone tell me I'm live, please. Cool. All right. Thanks, Darlans. I panicked then for a minute. I was like, "What? It says go live," but I'm thinking about clicking the go live button. Do I click the go live button? Do I not click the go live button? What do I do? What do I do? Ooh, I don't know what to do. I don't know. We'll leave it as it is for now. Okay. Anyway, let's say a few hellos. See who we've got in the chat. So we've got Blade 19 as well. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being first in the stream as well. Darklands as well as in the stream as always. We've got Soundwave Fireclaw. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. If you've been here before and changed your name, I apologise. If you're new, welcome. Grind time, my buddy. Hey, who likes all the new things for the moderators, guys? Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? In blue. I like it. My buddy Grind time as always. Thanks for joining. My buddy Vic Ching as well. I was thinking we need to meet up with is it Spen? Spence is from Manchester as well. Could do a meeting up maybe. We've got Soundblast 51. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for joining. We've got Chris Harmon. My buddy Cheeto. Good to see you as well. We've got Autobot Phil. We've got CF in the chat as well, who's a fellow content creator. Does a lot of really good. What do you call them? Like, what's that? I say diagrams. They're not diagrams. Data sheets, yeah, that's a good name from data sheets. So yeah, you'll probably see them all around, to be honest with you. But go and check his channel out, guys. Been starting doing some streams at weekend. I do like it when content creators do streams. So yeah, really good, guys. Go and check it out. We just need CF and Free to do a few more videos in between. But appreciate you, bud. We've got Giga08 as well. We've got Nate Williams as well. We've got Cuddy Fox in the chat. Who else have we got? We've got my buddy Candyman as well. Thanks for joining. Obviously a moderator and a member. When I said started working, I thought, oh, he's working. He's working. No, yeah, it's working. I get it. We've got London's Calling as well. We've got who else? Ronald Van Hollen as well. Welcome back. We've got Bernard Joinville as well. Thanks for joining. Fabius Malus, hello. We've got Deshaun as well, and I think I've caught everyone there. If I've missed anyone off, then apologies. You can throw a hello in the chat, and I'll give you a shout out, guys. But thank you everyone for joining. Yeah, CS put data sheets. Yeah, I know that now. Yeah. Sigma Prime as well. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, CS just put his working on got a few video ideas in the works. Good. Nemesis Prime Zito as well, hello. Is that the Spanish version of Nemesis Prime? What else? What else talking about? I think that's how Darkland's saying that he's trying to be a playtester. It's good, good, good. I'll put my seal of approval on that. You seem to know what you're talking about. When I talk to you in the chat and stuff like that. So yeah, good. Obviously talk about the event this weekend. Obviously a big event for Sideways. So everyone's all geared up towards it. Let me know in the chat as well what you're going for this weekend. You go for the 4-star, go for the 5-star. You're not bothering. Are you going for the major rank right at the top? Let me know. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat, see what everyone's saying. Fabius Miles, I missed the program. What you talk about? The game. We're talking about the new bark. We'll talk about some not new combiners, but 5-star combiners, some new 5-star bots, and then talk a bit about something else as well. Deshaun, what would be the best combat bot for Sideways? Remind me that when we're looking at Sideways, and I will make a judgment and let you know. Yeah, CS got plenty of stuff for like combats and stuff like that. I think he's normally in the TF Lounge or Discord, so go and check him out in there. I'm sure he won't mind you tagging him and asking him. Darklands, but my one weakness is understanding pathing. Yeah, listen, pathing's one of them things. If you understand it, you find it easy. If you don't, then you find it hard. I've had many a top player struggling with pathing, so don't get too, don't get too bogged down with it. Many people get stuck with it. I'm not just bragging when I say this, but I find it quite easy, and that's why I find top wars a bit easier than most, maybe. Because I see some people attacking sometimes, and I'm looking and going, why have they done that? Why have they gone from there? Why have they? That bot's gone there. Like, I could have told that was happening, but why have they done that? And then you just sort of come to it that, yeah, they're not obviously not done it on purpose. They're not thinking, I can't be bothered. They just don't know any better, But it's one of them things. It's really good to learn pathing. It comes from Clash of Clans. I found that really hard. The pathing in Clash of Clans I find a lot harder because you have not only do you have pathing, but you also have different units that path differently as well. So yeah, I suppose it's a bit like gunners really, and and different in jets and warriors, I suppose a bit, but on a lot larger scale. So yeah. Nate Williams going for the 4-star. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm going for. Soundwave, Fireclaw, same 4-star. Me too. Swoops, troops. A lot of people going for the 4-star. Sigma Prime's going all the way. More than just the event. You mean past 100k? Cheeto, gotta catch them all. Yeah. I was actually having a conversation with one of the devs and Callum earlier on, which we'll touch upon in a bit. But yeah. So yes, getting some sleep. Yeah, tell him about it. So, bit of RL. So Jacob's obviously on trial at Oldham, and we got told that his game this weekend is in Shrewsbury, which is a 2-hour drive, and we have to be there for 9 a.m. Kickoff's at 10, so they're like there an hour beforehand, so they get warmed up, they do a few drills and stuff to get them warm, and then they start. So you usually have an hour. Most other teams, grassroots, when I say grassroots, I mean like, the normal teams that everyone joins, anyone can join really. Different levels, where the academies are actual, obviously, professional teams. Most academies do half an hour, most grassroots teams do half an hour, but the academy does an hour. So I got me there for 9 a.m. So 2-hour drive. So I don't want to be late. So it's 2-hour drive. So I'll probably leave at 6:45. The problem is though, I finish work at 2 a.m. So I won't get home till about 2:30, 3 a.m. Bed at 4 a.m. So I'm looking at less than 3 hours sleep this weekend. It's going to be nasty. But the things you do for your kids, eh? Erod's Berserk as well. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see yous. What else? CS put the studio asked me not to do a pathing video. The studio? What do you mean? The studio? What do you mean by the studio? I'm a bit baffled with that. Matty as well, thanks for joining the stream. Grind time was a quick talk about me. What are you on about? What are you on about? Have I missed something there? I don't know. Obviously, I missed a joke. Soundwave Fire Claws, but honestly, I like the event more for Spark and whatnot than the actual bot. I do like he does crowd damage now. Wonder who we can pair him with that does electric damage. Yeah, if that's your gig. I had to do a guess for the new Prime coming to the game with Primer Prime. Okay. Interesting. Bernard Joinville says best 5-star combiner is Loud Kaiser. I agree. Mark 425. What about Volcanicus? Nah, he's good, but he ain't no Loud Kaiser. Could he Fox sport? Well, considering someone at 5-star yet, we don't know who could be the best combiner. I know, but it's going to take a lot. So I will have lots of time to grind the game. I won't. But with Mayhem now, you don't need loads of time anyway. You know. MD Prime, thanks. Don't forget to leave a like. He's right, guys. Don't forget to leave a like. I'm just here for the Bad Bunny halftime show. You know what? Honestly, it was quite funny. Even in my Alliance chat, people were saying to me, oh, you watching the game? No, not at all. I've still not seen it. I couldn't say anything about the game at all. I just know some people hit me up saying, oh, yeah, you didn't miss anything really. But I was like, well, I wouldn't have anyway because I'm watching it. Don't watch it. I've never watched a Super Bowl. Ever. Never. I know. It's mad. Americans, like, hear that. I'm like, are you crazy? But then I'll ask, how many of you actually want to watch the World Cup? But I suppose more people watch the World Cup panel, don't they? So, Grant says, yeah, I'll talk about players attacking with poor pathing. I actually won't talk about you actually for once. I'll talk about someone else. I won't say who it is, but yeah. CS Sport, I was putting together a video on the mechanics of pathing. Everybody asked I not put it up. Who asked that you not put it up? Who asked that? Who asked that you not put it up? Because that is annoying me. If you're saying that the devs told you not to put it up, then I say to you, put it up. Don't let the devs decide what content you put up. I'll quit the game before they tell me what content I'm putting up. Candyman, meanwhile, me waiting patiently for 5-star Devastator. I think when that combiner comes out, that'll be the one where I'm like, I'd rather have the conversion without a doubt. There's not many where I'm like, I prefer the conversion combiner, but I definitely do in terms of Devastator. One of my favourite bots. I've always said that. CF, Calamas Night. What? Not to put a video up about pathing? What? Why? That's bizarre. Why would you not put a video up about pathing? Why would you not put a video up that helps players? It's not like pathing's going to change next week. It's not like they're changing the way pathing works. So why would you not? That's bizarre. Are you sure you got that right? Because that is really bizarre. It makes no sense to me at all, that. I understand if you know what? If it was like a new bot or something, they're going, listen, don't put it out yet. I get that. If it was something where it's going to change, I kind of get that. But pathing ain't changing anytime soon. Pathing, not a chance. So why would you not put a video out about pathing? I think you've got that wrong, bud. I'm honest with you, because I've no idea why you would ever say to someone, don't put out that video. Yeah, data support. Yeah, it'd be a much consuming video. Yeah, it would. Good luck. Good luck doing it. Could it Fox they might give Victoria a ridiculous 5-star ability to negate Laukai's ability? Yeah, but no. Listen, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying for a minute that in the future. Listen, we can all do this. We can say that Xbot is good now. Doesn't mean it's always going to be good, but we can't look to the future and go, oh well, that might be better or will be better. We don't know. But right now, we can say what I can say that Comptron and Laukai is the best companion in the game. That's what I would say. But yeah, obviously, nothing lasts forever. Bobby, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. I was talking to Bobby earlier, trying to get some spark. Telling me how the power's gone to his head now because he's been given more responsibilities. I'm glad of it. I like Bobby. He offered you a 5-star to bury it. Well, that's a good point. If yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I did a video and Callum came along and said, "Don't put that video out, I'll give you a 5-star," I'd be like, I'm not being told what to do, but I can be bribed. Cool. Right. What else? So yeah, I mean, I might as well talk about it now rather than later. So, I was talking to Callum about. I don't even know what we started talking about. We were talking about content and stuff like that, and talking about things, and I was talking about what's coming to the game, and he couldn't obviously say. We had a bit of a joke and all that, and then sadly we got onto the topic of how the team are going to improve things this year, and obviously I take that with a pinch of salt. And I was sort of saying, yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. I don't think Callum really appreciated me being maybe a bit negative. And I sort of said, what do you expect, really? When for years we've been going, no, we should do this and we should do that. And I won't say what it was because, but there was an idea that I had quite a while ago, and I thought it was a really good idea. And I pushed it quite a bit. And if you watch my channel, I have done for a while, you might have a good idea what it is. I'm not going to say what it is. You can put it in the chat if you want. It's up to you. But I'm not going to confirm it. But it was a good idea, I thought. Really good idea. And I pushed it for quite a while. And then I gave up on it. Because I can see a reason why you wouldn't do it. But I can see a really good reason why you would do it. And Callum was like, yeah, well, we're talking a bit about that. I was like, yeah, but I talked about that about 5-7 years ago. And even Free said, yeah, it was even before I started streaming. That's 5 years ago. I was like, I was talking about that then. I was like, why did you guys not listen to it then? You must have thought it was a bad idea then. And it's either you thought it was a bad idea back then, so what's changed? Or you weren't listening, which sounds about right. And that's when I got a bit frustrated. And Callum was like, right, just, kind of chill out a bit. You know what I mean? And I was like, listen, I'm not annoyed. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated the fact that, we've lost a lot of good players when a few of these ideas, not just me, I'm not just saying my ideas should all be implemented, but there's been plenty of people over the years that have had really good ideas. And even I've seen sort of good ideas and gone, why didn't I think of that? That was a really good idea. And I just feel like a lot of these ideas would have kept some of the players that have left the game. And it's always disappointing when you play with someone for, for quite a few years, something. You've got a bond with them, and they're a good, decent guy, a good player. Then they leave the game, and you're like, oh God, why have they left the game? Oh, because of this and this and this. And then you think, well, if they'd done X, Y, and Z, they could have done that. And then we sort of talk about Clash of Clans and how it's similar and how it's different. And they were sort of saying, we can't do exactly what Clash of Clans does. I was like, no, you can't, because it's a lot bigger game. It's a lot bigger studio. I get that, but you can look at it and go, maybe we should implement that. Maybe we can implement that in our game, and that will help the game's, numbers, maybe. I just think that there's a lot of easy wins, I think. And I think sometimes, and I don't want to quote them because I didn't say this exactly, but, sometimes they're scared to do things because they might lose players. But my sort of take is, yeah, I get that, 100%. But if you don't do anything, you'll also lose players. So you're in this sort of catch-22 where if you do nothing, you'll lose players. But if you change it, you'll lose players. So what do you do? But for me, I think sometimes you've got to take a bit of risk. Not a massive risk. I'm not saying get rid of cyber coins. Something ridiculous like that. I'm not saying take a massive risk in the game and ruin the economy. But sometimes you got to go, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this for a week. Let's announce we're going to do it for a week and then see all the numbers, see how it goes. But I did say one thing. I said, look at Clash of Clans, look at Clash Royale, whatever, and look at how many content creators they've got that stream gameplay percentage. And look at how many do Earth Wars. None. There's not a single creator out there for Earth Wars that does gameplay. Why? Why is that? Because it's so restricted that you can't fill a stream playing that game. You look at any other game pretty much. People do these streams, yeah, but they also do gameplay streams. And you got to ask yourself, why? Why don't we do gameplay streams? Where we just play the game for a few hours and talk to people and stuff like that. Because there's not enough to fill it. You cannot play this game for 3 hours non-stop without spending money. You can't. It's literally impossible. I would say half an hour tops, 45 minutes at a push. If you did, literally, listen, no one wants to see Titan Assault. No one wants to sit here and watch me do Titan. I think that's our problem as well. No one wants me to sit here and do Titan Assault. No one wants to sit here and watch me do Zen farming. I might do a bit of it for newer players, but it's kind of boring. No one wants me to really do resource farming, really. I mean, do you? Really? Would you sit there and watch me do resource farming for an hour? So the only thing that people like to watch is wars. And wars are pretty much done, really, within, half an hour. Or if you're not spending, you can only do one per hour. So you got to do a 5-hour stream and do one attack per hour. You can't do that. Or you got to spend coins, which is a bit unfair, I think. So there's some easy wins to get people engaged. For me, like, I said this, I play Earth Wars, I'll do a few battles, and then I'll go and play Clash Royale for an hour and a half. That your engagement rate is going down because people are going to other games. In the meantime, you're not playing this game. If you can get people engaged where they can play this game, I'm not saying make it so you have to play the game for 8 hours. The audience is a bit different for Earth Wars. It's a bit of an older generation. So we can't have it really grindy. But I said, something like resource farming medals. Make a leaderboard for it. Make a leaderboard every month, first to the first, whatever. And then give some prizes out. Just something. Do you know what I mean? Something to get people engaged playing the game, maybe. And it just makes it easy for us guys. I think we'll have more people streaming the game, more people advertising the game, you get more players in. And I just think it's an easy win for them, really, to make the game more accessible to play it more. That's the big thing for me. No matter what game mode it is, this game needs a game mode you can play non-stop, I think. It's obviously you need to be careful with the economy. I've seen so many games where they've done that and people just grinded out so many resources that then don't need to play the game. But I think a lot of top players are already like that already. So, you need to create a demand first. There needs to be a demand in every game. And I think that at most levels there is, but not the top levels of the game. There needs to be a demand. Once you create that demand, people will play the game. Then you give them the supply. You go, well, okay, this is the game mode to get that. And that's why when Titan Assault first came out, everyone played it. Now, no one bothers. When Zen farming first came out, everyone needed Zen. Everyone played it. But then it got a bit tedious. So, you got to create that demand. You've got to create something quite fun and exciting for them to go and get that. And then you've got to reward them people for it as well. And, we don't have that. We don't have a game mode that, A, rewards people, is exciting and is accessible. One of those three, it's not. It's either not accessible, so you have to use fuel cells, or it's not very exciting because it's very repetitive and limited input from the player, or the reward's not good enough. Sometimes it's two of those. So you've got to hit those really, at least with one game mode. And I just feel that's what we're lacking. And again, like I think when I said Clash of Clans, we're like, well, we're not gonna be like Clash of Clans, like they're massive. There's Supercell huge. I was like, no, I'm not saying be like that. I'm not saying at all. I'm saying, but you can look at that game and take some wins out of it. You can look at any game. You can look at FIFA and take some things out of FIFA. It's not the same game at all, but you can look at FIFA and go, that's a good idea. We could implement that into our game, But yeah, so yeah, we were having a bit of a conversation, me and Freeze and Callum and Cube for about an hour or so, and it was good. And I don't mind this conversation. I don't get annoyed, but I get frustrated sometimes, yeah. But I don't get annoyed like I'm gonna kick off or anything. But yeah, there's definitely some easy wins, I feel. And it's all well and good saying, I've been hearing for years, oh, the team are going to do better. Well, sadly, I'm sort of where I'm like, well, I'll believe it when I see it, really. You know. See what everyone sort of put in. So yes, I've done gameplay videos, few walkthroughs. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, Dalton's put 2-3 minute battles are not fun to watch. Well, I don't know. People watch Clash Royale, and then like 2-3 minutes if fair. Berserk's put gotta mix it up with strategy discussion and character setup. Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, you look at Clash Royale. I always say like that's my game I like to play as well as this. And yeah, you will talk about that and team makeups, things like that. But yeah, Berserk's put, but the game as a mobile title is jump in, jump out. Yeah, but not to a degree. But you can play Clash Royale for 2 hours, non-stop, attack after attack after attack. See, Bobby, I really like you, but you said like leaderboard idea is good. We've had this idea not just from me, from all the players for the last 7 years. It's been non-stop. We've mentioned this non-stop, but no offense, we've been asking for a war rework for 4 years. It's been in the pipeline for 2 years, 2.5 years. So a medal leaderboard for me is pipe dreams. Before the war rework. Also, what Phil's put, I have to believe that rage coining is this game's primary revenue stream. They'll never do anything that gets rid of that. I don't think that. I think the main one is events, I think. Yeah. Downlands give a reason to log in. Yeah, agree with that as well. Yeah. Twilight plays Borderlands while wait on Earth Wars. Yeah. Yeah, get really into it for hours. Yeah, same. I used to play Call of Duty for like 12 hours non-stop. Nate Williams, elimination mode should just be open attack since you can only use the bot once. I kind of agree. But I think that's for one when HQ19 comes out because you still need Zen for HQ18, I think, in it. Yeah, I think still. So I get that lower players, you don't want to make it too accessible because the problem is you can buy XP with it. I suppose, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. Cuddy Fox Sport, I don't do wars anymore since they make some wars too difficult for me. I just get on the game, do what I need to do, and log off the game. I used to do some battles, but not anymore. Yeah, but that's the thing though. So if wars didn't need cooldowns, would you play wars more? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Cuddy Fox, the only time I stay longer than 30 minutes in the game is weekend events. The rest of the time is just to reactivate my beacon and shield gen. Yeah, pretty much the same, yeah. What about creating a timed item like something XP for 24 hours? You increase fuel cell for each 3 minutes, you get 5 fuel cells. See, it's hard though because you don't want people to be using that at weekends really because I understand weekends are where they are and the weekends are alright. I think there needs to be a variety maybe in events, but weekends aren't a million miles away. Mayhem was a great addition and they've actually evolved events quite a lot. So I'm quite happy with events. I don't mind them. I think there needs to be something new though. I think that some of the structures, some of the prizes needs increasing or changing. We talked about the major rank being a bit daft, being at the end of the event this week, and it should be a general maybe, or do they push it further and add more prizes in? Do they make it a 5 mil and add optional tiers, things like that? Let me know what you think about that in the chat. If they added more 5-star shards and a general rank at 5 mil, would you put that much extra in to get it? I don't know. What do you think? That was a debate we sort of had. Not saying it's going to happen, but I think they're in the sort of bank that people would lose their minds if they did a 5 mil event. But my standing was keep the 5-star bot where it is, move the major rank down below the 5-star bot, put in a general rank a bit higher, Add in something worth getting other than like total shards and that. I mean, total shards are alright, I suppose, but what do you add in? Do you add in like prime canisters? If they did 4 mil, if they did the bought where it is, whatever it's at, 3.5, 3.75 mil, whatever, and then had prime canisters up to 5 mil and then a general rank, would you do 5 mil as an alliance? I don't know. But I understand being careful not to affect weekend events. I get that because I think that's the moneymaker. But the rest of the midweek needs improvement of people actually playing the game. Yeah, Blade 19's put give us a reason to believe them. Yeah. I agree with that. Bobby said that I've got the power now, so I'll have a word. It's worth a shot. Yeah, listen, hopefully they might listen this time. But yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath, bud. Yeah, Cuddy Fox, but all games have complaints. Yeah, listen, they all do. They all do. But I think this game more than most. No need to harass the CMs about controlling content creators. That's not cool, guys. Who does that? Nah, no one's gonna. No. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Ron Van Holmes put with more flame outs. Yeah, I think they would. But at least people would try more. I think. Transport, I would absolutely do wars more if they had no cooldowns or more bases. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Do they do it so you don't flame out? Should they do it a bit like Clash of Clans where you get a percentage? So no matter every attack, I mean, is there anything wrong with having limited attacks in wars? Would there be any? Here's an idea. Would there be anything wrong with saying, right, listen, you can attack a base as many times as you want, but instead of getting points like 15 or 20 or 5, what about if you just every time you attack you get a percent, and if you get 100%, you get 100% of the points. If you get 80%, you get 80% of the points. But then if you get 80%, you can go and attack again, try 100 if you want. If you get 70, you don't lose any points, but you can try again. Is that bad? Or do you just lose some points every time you attack, so you don't get as many? I don't know. I mean, that's what I mean, though. Just like something innovative like that to get people playing wars at lower levels. And you could, but then the good thing is you can even push difficulty at higher levels, and you don't need everyone to get 100%. That's how Clash of Clans works. Yeah, classic Cheetos, but just logging for wars and events. Yep, same. What else? Shami Cam, controversial question was it? Do you still enjoy playing Earth Wars? Sometimes you can just get into a habit of doing something and forget you used to like it. It's a hard question, that. I don't dislike it, but I wouldn't say that I dislike the game. I do like it. I do enjoy it. I find it tedious, though. That's it. If they brought a new game mode out tomorrow, yeah, brilliant. I'd smash it. If they bring a new bot out, I don't mind getting it. I don't mind playing something when I'm trying to achieve something. Like, I really enjoy wars. I love wars. I love them. I would war every single day. Blade 90's but answer to 5 mil is no. Fair enough. Darklands, maybe the bot was worth it. I said that. I said, listen, I will be doing, 85k this weekend if the bot was decent this weekend. So, yeah. Cuddy Fox put Yoda ignores the stream in the player base. If they do it, there'd be a lot of questions that they need to answer that Wozza and other streamers cannot answer. I don't know, there's not much I can't answer, really, to be fair. Ninja Master Builder does the events to complete collections. I get that, yeah, a lot do, I think, yeah. More let's try sauce, but play the game, please. If you mean in my stream, then not right now. But yeah, I'd like to more. Soldier, welcome to the stream. Speak of the devil. I literally said earlier I'd like to see more content from UNCF. Get some more videos out. I was saying that to Callum today, like, we need more videos. Like, I know you do videos and the spotlight videos, things like that, but you used to pump out content a lot more than what you do now. I know you've had a kid, to be fair, so fair play to you, mate. But yeah, I think we need to pump out more content as content creators, I think. Definitely. But I get you busy though at the minute, mate. I get it. Yeah, Dartland Sport. That sounds interesting on Wars. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Tracks. I've even lost interest in Brand League Wars. Ouch. Ninja Master Builder. Have you tried to make a free-to-play account? No. No, not a chance. Just taking a break from my wife, Soul's Foot. What else? Have a look. Blade 19's but have a war tournament midweek and do it by HQ level. Maybe. Transport Wozza, you're inside. You do war every day. Yeah, I can do. I don't know. Cupcake wars, no point really. There's no challenge there. Matty's put 5 elements is not the answer. Ranks have been out long enough now that Major should just drop down in general at 4 mil. I know, but I think the way they see it is that generals is 15,000 5-star shards. It is a lot. Darkland's been saying new game mode for 2 years. Yeah, you're not wrong. Right, but I feel like with a mechanic, it should be unlimited attempts until you beat the base. If not, the maximum percentage amount of points you get. Yeah, because not everyone will beat the base, though. I've seen many players that they get to the top, they get into war, and the base 4, base 5 is a max HQ, and they go, well, we can't beat that. But at least if it's also like a percentage or something, at least then you'd have a go and try and get some points for your team. Somewhere Fireclaws put, I think the documentation should be updated on the game. I agree with that as well. Definitely. Soul's just put, yeah, we need more new bots. Oh, maybe, yeah, but I can't happen. I think I'm gonna go back and make spotlights for all the bots. Yeah, decent. Get it done, bud. Get it done. Blade 19's put my max box. I'm going to 75 now. Supposing when HQ 19 comes out. Mark, but my goal is to get to HQ 18 before HQ 19 comes out. Well, it's coming out this year, I think. So yeah, cool. Right, let's go into the newsletter. Oops, scroll back. Apologies, underprepared. So, Bar Week Grana, Week Ninny Bong. This weekend's event is a Alliance Totalizer Mayhem event for the new bot Sideways. So, for 1.5 million points for your Alliance, you can get the 4-star. For 3.5 mil, you get the 5-star. And then for 4 mil, you get a major rank item. Whoopie-doo. Yeah, never got that. Major rank item at 4 mil. I said that as well. Most top players that are going for the 5-star, I've got most bots at major rank. It's general they want, but I don't think they're going to put them at 4 mil now when the majors at 4 mil. So, don't know. But you get a decent amount of spark, 500,000 sparks, decent amount of shards, everything else. So new bot character shards of the new bot as well. Some spark crystals, total shard crystals, decent amount, 150 of each is a lot. And then obviously the bots and G-metal power cores and stuff. So yeah, decent. Rewards scattered throughout. I'll just skip through. You can see there. I won't go through them, obviously, because there's a lot. You can see the new bots there at 3.5, and the 4 stars there at 1.5. Mayhem applies. And then there's been a couple of changes to Sideways, which we'll talk a bit about later. We covered it last week. I have got a video out if you're intrigued into what it's like, but we're going to cover it a bit anyway, but I won't go into too much depth and talk more about the changes. New side pass skins of Shockwave, which I like, and then Chromie, which I don't. She's not keen on the red eyes, I think. The red eyes are a bit... All the red. I don't know. She's all blue, isn't she? So the red just doesn't suit, I think. Well, they're asking for new playtesters. If you want to be a playtester, go and apply. Been a few bug fixes. So I did notice this when I did my video on the bots in the batches. That red alert was described as melee. And I was like, it's definitely not melee. And so I double checked and tried equipping a ranged combat on him. And he could. So I was like, yeah, they got that wrong. I didn't pass this on, but yeah. So it's been changed from melee to range, but it hasn't been changed, just the description. Solus Prime was displaying more DPS than what it showed, but didn't affect the actual DPS in game. Just a fix of the numbers. Fixed an issue where Nexus, Onyx, Alphatron, Alchemist, and Solus were showing the building cores as the actual cores, the circle ones, the bot cores. So that's cool. Updated text in the power core explanation tooltip to include the G metal rarity. Okay. Updated solar spark canister art. Okay. And the next update for iOS will fix where the contact support button was broken. So yeah, a few little simple fixes really, nothing too crazy. And then bundles this weekend, we've got Sundo and Ratbat bundles. Character chips, character shards, and combat spark, the normal sort of combat bundles that you'll see. Better together bundles, so it's just got spark and G1s and stuff. We've got Elite 1 and SG Octopunch skins in the store as well. And then we've got 5-star Sideways on sale in the store, normally for about $100 or so, I think. And then we've got appreciation chests that's got Spark, Shards, Shanix, and Zenidra. Then we've got a Saga schedule, so we're up to the new bot here. And we've got an easy event next week. Then we've got Raiden and Dino King the week after. Will I be going for that? I don't know. Maybe, probably, actually, yeah, because it's my birthday the week after, which is a Prime XP event. Great. I would rather have that had the combine on my birthday week where I'm off, but hey, can't have it all your way. Then we've got the new Prime and artifacts. So yeah, not sure which Prime it'll be now. I think someone mentioned it might be Primer, but yeah, nothing in test yet, so we can't confirm. And then Drift's favorite movie, Tokyo Shift. Cheers, Colin. And then go check out your content creators. Obviously, myself, Freezus, Max, Soldier's in the chat, and CF was in the chat as well. Freezus should be streaming straight after me, so go and check that out. And then no team stream, but I think Callum mentioned they may do one soon. I think maybe. Don't know, but don't hold your breath. See what everyone just put before we move on. Bernard Join Bells put more campaigns, please. Yeah, I like a challenge battle weekend at Christmas. That was really good. Yeah, I think everyone wants more campaigns, but it take a lot of effort from what I've heard. How about a campaign where you're unlock Raiden? I don't think that's going to happen, sadly. No worries, Shami Cam. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, down on spot. You've liked all the con skins of late, Wozza. I'm a con at heart. I've always said this, honestly. Yeah, Matt's put I disagree with the Chromia skin, but I respect your opinion. Hey, if we all had the same opinion, it'd be pretty boring, wouldn't it? Cody Fox is amazing. The Alpha Triumph building core is fixed, even though it's not in the game. That's comment of the day. I like that. That's a good point. They can fix the image of the core, but they can't bring the core out. Blade 19's put, can they fix the Forge of Solus Prime? It revives when it wants to. You can't depend on it. Really? Is it when there's an FFD, I think? Is it when there's an FFD in there? I think so. I think a revive is classified as it healing, I think. It's one of the two or something, yeah. Track's an awful joke, I know. Candyman, is Ratbat working right? I've heard conflicting reports. He wasn't, And I don't know if it's been fixed. I don't know. Right, let's go into the game anyway. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so last week we touched upon this and we spoke about Quintus. Should you equip it on a tank? Should you equip it on a gunner or a jet? Should you equip it on a healer? Well, healer, no. If you're equipping that on a healer, you need your head checked. But tanks versus jets and gunners. So I've done a bit of testing, and I've got some stats down for you, but we'll show it anyway, just so you can see what I mean. So we've got pipes. I've got a few bots here to pick from. So we've got pipes with Quintus on there. So we're going to try it on him. We're going to try it on Snarl, who's a melee special. So obviously melee specials have a bit more DPS, a bit less HP. Then we've got a jet, who's obviously the DPS is through the roof, but low HP. And then we've got a gunner, and gunners generally have good damage, but similar health to jets, but not quite as good damage as jets do, because they've got better range of combats though. So first off, let's have a look at pipes. We're going to do hard mode effects. So we're going to drop pipes down. I want you to watch how much damage the shark does. So let him destroy something first. There we go. Watch the shark. There we go, 103. So you can see there that the shark doing 103 damage. It's only doing very limited damage to that resource building there, and then dying after a bit of a time. Then we're going to move it on to Snarl. I'll try and be as fast as I can, guys. Then we try it with Snarl. And you see there, you can see that they're doing 199 DPS, the sharks there. So almost double the damage that they do with pipes. Now we're going to try it on a jet. Try something, get the shark out. And you can see there that the shark is doing, oh, drops, so it's gone 237 DPS. So, I haven't got my stats right there, huh? Let's try it again. There we go. See there, 296 DPS. That's more like it. There we go. So Shark's doing 296 DPS. Then we try it with 6 gun. And you see there, the sharks are doing 205 DPS now. Try and see that. There we go, 205 DPS. So, looking at DPS alone, Pipes 103 DPS for Quintus, Snarl 199, Jetfire Sky Striker 296, and 6 gun did 164. So 6 gunners you can kind of eliminate, putting Quintus on a gunner. Obviously do a lot less damage than Jets do, and not even quite as much as it does with melee specials. So I think we eliminate 6 gun from the equation really, because once you look at HP as well, Pipes, the Sharks have 11,500 HP. That's a lot of HP for a Shark. Then we've got Snarl, who has 9,500 HP. So still quite a lot. But then, once you get to Jetfire Sky Striker, it goes down to 4,778 HP, and then 4,111 for 6 gun. So once you get to Jetfire Sky Striker jets, and once you get to 6 gun and gunners, the HP of the Sharks literally goes down by a half, and the DPS doubles. So we talked last week about, do you want Sharks for DPS, or do you want Sharks for HP? Now, if we look at, let's take a look at mostly Pipes and SG Jetfire. Let's go 2 extremes of HP with low DPS or high DPS and low HP. So now what we need to look at is not the DPS, but how quickly the Sharks disappear. You can see there now, the Sharks are dying fairly quickly. You can see there the amount of damage they're taking. They're dying quite quickly. So although they're doing a decent amount of damage, are they lasting long enough to actually do that damage? Now we're going to do the same with Pipes, but what I'm going to do is, because Pipes is melee, I don't want to get ahead of the Quintus Shark, so I'm going to rush him in here, take some hits, destroy this building, then I'm going to rush him away so the Sharks can take most of the hits. It's going to take him a while to kill his defense. Rush him away now. If you watch now though, the Sharks last a lot longer. You can see there that even though they're in the kill box, the Sharks lasting a lot longer. They're actually lasting longer than what the defenses can kill them. So they're doing the job at protecting your team. Now, some people might want them for DPS. Some people might want them for HP. Okay, I kind of get that. But there's something that people are missing, I think. Now, I wanted to watch closely at the Sharks. So I'm going to put SG Jetfire back here again. Well, we can try and keep him alive. I'm going to use SG Jetfire to get him out of trouble, I think. But look now. Now the Sharks are hacked. The Sharks can be hacked by the age. And so all of a sudden now, those high DPS Sharks are actually attacking your own bots. So if you're using the Sharks for DPS, With how much hack is in Outpost nowadays, you're in a real danger of those sharks turning on yourself and actually killing your own bots. But the difference is, when you put it on a warrior, because it's 20% of their DPS, that's a lot less. You're halving the damage they're going through to your bot. Now, again, if you use them for damage, they're going to do damage to your own bots. But if you use them to protect your team, and you rush in like this, try and keep them alive a minute. Push them away. And the shark gets hacked. The difference is, though, when the shark gets hacked, they still get hit by the opposition defenses. So if you're using Quintus to protect your team and they get hacked, yes, they're going to turn your team still, but they're still doing their job of protecting you because they're going to get hit by defenses and still have that high HP. And so for me, if you're using Quintus to protect your team, it doesn't matter if they're getting hacked, doesn't matter what they're doing, they're still going to do that job regardless. Where if you've got Quintus on a high damage bot like a Jet or a Gunner, and they turn yourselves, they're not going to do that job anymore. Because they're not going to do damage to their defenses because they're hacked. They're going to do that damage to your own bots. And I think that's a big part of it. Especially with the amount of hack that is on defense at the minute with Cosmos and Mindwipe, with Lao Kaiser and Computron, with Liege, all these sort of hack things that people are using in Outposts, with Peacemaker as well. You've got to really be careful. And so I think it's a done deal. Quintus needs to go on a tank. Listen, if you guys want to put it on a Jet, a Gunner, I kind of get that. You want that more damage to get through the base, I kind of get it. But I think you'll find your bot survive a lot longer with Quintus on a tank. You know, like I said previously, if you've got a warrior and you use it to protect your team, then make that warrior better at protecting your team. Focus on that. If you've got a Jet, yeah, put a core on it to make it better. But I think there's better cores out there to increase their DPS and increase their damage, like Volatile Mixture, like Enhanced Ordnance, cores like that. Some people put out an SG Jetfire because he has high HP and a high DPS. Kind of get that. But for me, Quintus needs to go on a warrior. But give it a test. There's plenty more bots out there to try. Go and give it a try, guys, and let me know what you guys think. I did see while I was doing the video, people asking me to do on Blaster and things like that. It's going to be the same regardless. I mean, all you need to do, guys, is work out 20% of their HP and DPS and go from there. So, for example, if we go Special Blaster. So, dead simple. Blaster at 20% will have 8,000 health. And we'll have 110 DPS thereabouts. So a bit more than Pipes, but similar to Snarl in terms of HP. So a bit less than Snarl and less DPS. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you better put it on a high damage special, melee special if you can really, rather than a lower damage one, because you're getting less out of it. So there, he's only getting what compared to Pipes? He's getting, work it out, 8,400. So it's a good like 1,100 less HP than Snarl, but also 70 less DPS, so a lot less DPS compared to Snarl. Someone else mentioned Alita. Let's run her stats. I need to take everything off though, just to make it pure such. Don't want it skew whiffed. So Elita would be roughly around 8,000 health, so a bit less than Blaster and 1,500 less than Snarl. but 1200 DPS, so still a bit less than Snarl. So I think a high damage melee bot is more beneficial. I mean, what's Snarl's DPS? So yeah, well, yeah, it was only 9. Yeah. So what's that? 9500. Yeah, it's about almost 200. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So 955 DPS, 630 DPS. Where's Lita? So yeah, you want to try and get a bot with like 1000 DPS really, 1000 DPS and then over 40k health. Yeah, I think that's like the yeah. So Laser Optimus is a good option for Quintus. Ultimate Optimus, good option for Quintus if you're looking at melee specials. Beachcomber, not so much in terms of DPS. Leo Prime, not so much DPS or HP really. No, what's Tazcud got? Yeah, not too bad, but he's got cores attached. So, yeah, high damage bots with a decent DPS. Trying to think of anything else anymore. I mean, Slash, obviously great damage, but less health. So more like a jet really. So what's the point? You get the idea though. Hernando Uribe, welcome to the stream. That's right. What else? So everyone put in. Cuddy Fox, but the problem is now is not the best bot. Yeah, listen, I'm only doing it to prove a point between melee specials, warriors, jets, gunners. It didn't really matter who I picked, really. You get the idea, though. Traxxas put, so it does matter who we equip Quintus to now. No, yes and no. So I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding in terms of Quintus. So if another bot kills it, so the Quintus Sharks take the stats from whoever you place it on. That's never changed. That's fact. But that bot doesn't need to kill the defense to spawn a shark. Any bot can. So if you put one bot on this side of the map and one bot with Quintus on this side, if this bot here kills a defense, the shark spawns on this bot that's equipped to. Yeah? But this bot has high DPS and kills a defense. The shark that spawned doesn't have high DPS because this bot killed the defense. The shark stats come from the bot it's equipped to. So in terms of HP and DPS of the sharks, yes, it matters which bot you equip it to. But in terms of destroying defenses, then no, it will always just come from the bot it's equipped to. But any bot can kill defense. It's not like that bot has to kill it. So if your damage dealer is Rustos, you don't need Quintus on Rustos to produce sharks. It'll produce sharks from whichever bot it's equipped to. Does that make sense, guys? I'll show you a bit of a thing. I'll show you what I mean. So we've got pipes on Quintus there, yeah? So because it's equipped to pipes, it will get 20% of pipes damage and 20% of pipes health. That's what the sharks will get. So look, whenever building an outpost bot is destroyed, summon a shark to come with 20% health and DPS for 7 seconds from whatever it's equipped to. So it'll get 20% of these stats. But if I put pipes over there and I put SG Jetfire over here, SG Jetfire kills the defense. Shark over there, look. Shark over there because he's killing them. Shark over there. So he's creating the sharks from pipes, but they're taking pipes' HP and DPS. So it doesn't matter who kills the defense. The sharks will always spawn from the bot that's got it equipped. If you don't get it, I'll go for it again, guys. But yeah. Yeah, Yeah, Ninja Master says got Quintus on Blaster or Soundwave. I used to, but I don't use Blaster anymore. But I think it's better on them. Back in the day, in lower level HQs, then yeah, it doesn't matter as much because it's not doing much damage. So maybe you can get away with it, put it on a special bot or a gunner more. But I think in higher like HQs, it's more important. I think to have it on a higher HP bot than DPS. Cuddy Fox has Quintus on Beast Wars Ironhide. That's not a bad shout, you know, with the glass gas. Makes them do more damage, so yeah, makes good sense. Yeah. Mark's thinking about using it on Slug and Rampage. Yeah, very similar to Pipe, so yeah. Mark's but I was originally going to plan to use Quintus on Whirl, but since you said that you're not a fan of people using it gunners, I tried to use it on Slug. Okay, listen, don't be scared of having you making your own mind up as well, though. Listen, if I say, listen, I think this is best, you know, not everyone is always right. It comes down to opinion as well. You know, if you are timing out and you can keep your bots alive, then maybe putting Quintus on a gunner is a good idea, you know, to help you get through the base quicker. It depends, but then if you're losing bots, what's the point? Yeah, Track's got a good point there. You wouldn't put Quintus on Rust Dust, not enough DPS. I agree with that. Push got a good G1. I agree with that. But on Optimal or Scattershot, yeah, some high DPS bots. Yeah. Sound Blast Pipes is better than Blaster. Yeah, definitely. Bobby design. Okay, but you do create an amazing swarm of sharks. Yeah, but you'll still get the same sharks regardless. It doesn't matter who you put the shark on. You'll still get the same amount of sharks. I don't think people understand that. I don't. Andrew Stevenson's put, was I use your team in war? Thanks, it's great. I rarely lose war now. Or sometimes maybe time out. Yeah, I think then just focus on ranks, DPS, and just getting more and just rank your bots up and things like that. Yeah, and you'll get there. Robusto and half shell for Quintus. Um, yeah, I'm still a fan of Warriors. Not gonna lie. Firepower 7. I just got Amalgam's Prime Defense Core and I'm a bit confused by it. So, how that works is. Nope. Nope. That's one there. So, boost your outpost bot attack and movement speed by 90% while active and restores 90% health every second. So, when your outpost bots jump out the outposts, they'll have a higher attack and movement speed and restore health. But the only problem with Amalgam is you don't know what range it is. I've asked that from the ape saying, listen, can you just show us the range of where it where it works, where it doesn't work? Is it base wide? No one's too sure. I generally put Amalgamus close to like the box like Twin Twist that do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage anyway. You want to increase the attack and movement speed, so it makes sense to put them near that. So, Soundwave Fire Claws, but off topic, it's fine anytime. Do you think Alpha Trion Core is worth putting on a medic like Hook? Yes. There's two cores I will never go to war without. Alpha Trion, Quintus. Quintus protects your bots from so much damage when it's on a warrior. And Alpha Trion gives you 3 points. Well, never go without Alpha Trion. And put on a healer, yeah, it's a perfect opportunity because sometimes, or most of the time, on your warriors, you're putting extra things on them to protect them and protect your team. And then on your gunners, you're putting cores on them to increase their damage. So EO cores, volatile mixture cores on gunners and jets. So you struggle to get Alphatron in your team, but putting it on a healer is an easy option. Just need to be careful though that if you lose one of your healers, or lose the healer with Alphatron on, then you're going to stop getting points. Like a double whammy, really. It's like a double thing. So I like to have Alphatron on one healer and my Cronus on the other one. So the healers sort of stick together, and then my Cronus heals the other healer and helps each other. So, but the issue with two healers is that obviously then you need DPS. So I have to make sure I've got plenty of DPS in my team. Blade 19. If Titans kill the defense, does Shark still spawn? Don't know. Let's give it a go. In fact, I'm better going to attack doing this, aren't I, actually? I bet there'll be some without a Titan around here. Okay, no Titan. Let's have a go. So it's on pipes there. Yeah, it's on pipes. Let's have a go. Yeah, it does. Yeah, look. There you go. Titans killing defenses. Spawn sharks. There we go. Answered that. Easy. Andrew Stevenson, don't like Roadbuster, has weird pathing. Yeah, I agree. He struggles on my team. He always dies. Yeah. London's calling. Does Smashdown only affect the equip bot or the whole team? Let me refresh. I've not used Smashdown for a while. Let me refresh my memory. I think it's just the bot, I think. Pretty sure. Let me read a minute. Combat, Smashdown. Where's Smashdown? Where's Smashdown? Have we got the 5-star version? I mean, I have on live, but I haven't on test, I don't think. Have I got on? Don't think I on live, actually. No, I haven't. I'm lying to you. Smashdown. Gain 25 deep every time. Yeah, it's just for the bot. Just for the bot. It's not for your team. Yeah. Bombo, Glizzy, welcome to the stream. Alphatron to me is a necessity during wars. Yeah, 100%. Extra 26 ability points. It is something like that. An extra 26 ability points, guys. I think I worked it out once, and I think it's pretty right. It's around that. So, yeah. Definitely. Any idea when Snarl 2.0 is coming out? Well, grand time, I guess, is in the future. He's actually been out and come out, but I don't know if it's something. When I tested him on test, he looked pretty good. And I rated him quite high. And people were like, why are you rating Snarl so high? I was like, because he's good. Then I tested him on live and was like, he's rubbish. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Spen, late to the party, just got back from my daughter's concert at Co-op Live. What'd you go and watch? Let me know. I'll have to meet up. We said this earlier about, me, you, and Vic Ching meeting up sometime. We're having the same argument about Quintus Prime again. Yes, we are. Can Quintus work on Twin Twist and Quenegon? It'll work on anyone. It'll work on anyone. Anyone it will work on. But it's who you want to get the most out of it. How about Quintus on Not? If you want, if you want to, it'll go on anyone. It will go on anyone, guys. There's no right and wrong answer. Like, if you're gonna ask, will it go on this bot? Yes, that's the answer, right? No matter what. If you want to look at stats wise, then you're looking at about 6,000 health, which is quite low. But you're looking at around 200 DPS, which is quite high. So yeah, quite decent, but lower than Snarlstone. But yeah, these sort of high damage melees will give you a decent shark. Spence put Alf trying on Ratchet, my Kronos on Wheeljack. I think I've got exactly the same setup actually, yeah. Exactly the same. I like Alpha Triangle because we clutch in a lot of battles. I agree. Can get you them extra points. You might be hitting the HQ and think, oh, I just need an extra ability just to take out the shield gen that's behind the HQ or something. And then with Alpha trying to get it. Spence bought, it was a concept for school. Ah, right. Oh, okay. Get you. Spence put, hi, boss. Who's your boss? Does the new Prime combo with the sharks? Yeah, probably. Let's have a go. I don't mind this actually. But I do feel like I'm answering questions over and over though. Same ones. I don't mind it. Listen, if someone goes away and they understand a bit more, I don't mind it. But let's not ask another question because can Quintus go on this bot? Yes. Yes, 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 it can. I need to get 21 ability points, though, guys. God. Let's take some of this out then. Then we can test it a bit, can't we then? Oh my god. There we go. Right. Let's put a prime down there. I think it does actually, yeah. I think I saw it like. Just pipes over here. And let's see. What soul's going to die first? I think so, yeah. Looks that way. Wouldn't like to bet on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Classic Cheeto. Is this what having a stroke feels like? Oh. Oh, who's putting Quince on Cheeto? Oof. Ouch. Might as well just ask if everyone's spawning sharks this rate. Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay. Next up. So, next up is a bot that is getting a rework, and I've covered this a while ago, and I gave this bot a bit of a funny nickname. Put it in the chat if you know what bot I'm talking about. Let's test some of the people that watch my streams and videos. So, I complained about this bot maybe a few years ago that it just wasn't good enough. The damage was inconsistent and pretty woeful. Then they brought out a G1 core for the bot, and guess what? It was pretty woeful, pretty inconsistent. And then Dale was thinking about looking at this bot and making it a 5-star version quite a while ago and was asking me, why is it so bad? And I was like, this is probably the worst bot in the game for me. The worst bot in the game. Worse than any other bot. And that bot is Dust Up. So they are looking at a couple of other things as well, which we'll talk about later. But Dust Up is being looked at being improved as maybe a part of a legacy bot or whatever. So this is the 4-star version of Dust Up. What I have done is I have ranked it up to general. And so I think ranking it up to general will give you an idea on what the 5-star version will do around major. So fire 16 rockets, each dealing 535 normal damage over a large area. So looking at that, you're looking at around 8,500 damage in an area. Now, when you run the numbers on that, 8,500 damage for 3+ 0, that's a lot of damage. It's a lot. Got a G1 core, which gains 15.5% ability damage, which obviously is incorporated into this, so it'll do less without it. But also sets that targets on fire, dealing 12.5% of bots DPS as fire damage as well for 6 seconds. So 12.5% is roughly around 150 DPS as well for 6 seconds. So that's 150, 450, about 900 damage on top of that as well. So you're looking at 9,500 damage. Wow. That's some incredible damage, 9,500, right? Right? So let's put Dust Up down. And let's see what damage she can do in an area. So I'm going to try and hit this cluster up here. See what damage it can do. So you can see there, the beam lasers nearly been killed. The turret, halfway. Resource buildings, a quarter. So the question is, how can it do quite a lot of damage to the beam lasers, but not a lot to the resource buildings? So looking at the HP of these buildings, you're talking 8,500 for beam laser in Prime League hard mode. So we just said that Dust Up should do about 9.5k damage. So surely that should take out the beam laser. Surely. We've got a cannon, which I get. I'm not going to take the cannon out. It's quite a lot. Turret, 8,500. So yeah, should take that out. Or leave a very, very small slither of health before the fire burn. Then we've got resource buildings at 5,000 HP. It should absolutely smash that. And then we've got the energy on storage at 8,300, and it should kill that as well. So really, if we're doing consistent damage, it should take out the two structures there, the two structures there. Maybe, yeah, should take that out. I'll leave a very small bit of health, and same for the laser turret. And then the fire afterwards should finish it off. So let's go again. But what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to put it in the same position this time. I'm going to put it in a slightly different area. This time I'm going to put it right on the turret instead. See there, it's right on the turret. And now it's done less damage to the turret than it did against the beam laser. The beam laser was nearly dead last time. So let's give it another go. So let's put it right on the beam laser, right on the beam laser. So should do maximum damage now to that beam laser. And the beam laser's at half health, and the turret's at a third health. Let's try again. Maybe I've got this wrong. Let's have a go again. Let's put it a bit lower, just in that gap there. See what it does. And that's even less again. So, you saw that earlier, where Dust Up nearly took out the beam laser. How can I replicate that? How can I do that again with Dust Up? Where did I press to get Dust Up to do that kind of damage? Let's go straight there, in between there, right in that corner there. I've done a bit more there again now, but you can see why I'm puzzled. Is that if you look at the stats for Dust Up, .535 damage over a large area for 16 rockets. But the problem with this is this is how Sunstreaker used to work. Is that what happens is it's 535 damage per rocket in a large area. So the rockets fly over a large area, but it's 535 damage per rocket. But if you watch the animation of the rockets very carefully, so don't worry about the damage too much, just watch the area of the rockets where they go. Watch the rockets that come out. And you see there that there's a massive cluster around the middle there. But some go straight over there, some go up there, some down there. The rockets all vary in how many will hit the defense. And so it lacks any kind of solid damage that you can rely on. because you've got to put it in an exact spot you need to do an exact amount of damage, but doesn't do an exact amount of damage. So you can't rely on it. So not only does it do nowhere near the damage it states that it sounds like, when you hear 535 damage for 16 rockets, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. And I get that for 3+ not, but it needs to be consistent. You need to be able to use it in a certain situation and go, okay, this is the amount of damage it's doing in an area, X. This is what this defense does HP wise, X. I know this bot can do that amount of damage against that and destroy it. And that's what you just don't get from Dust Up. And so I think that before they even look at changing Dust Up or changing the ability or giving it something else or anything, the first thing they need to do is change the ability to do consistent damage. So it doesn't matter whether it gets hit by 1 rocket or 3 rockets, it does the same. And this was an old problem when the game was first sort of introduced the first few years. There was a lot of abilities that were inconsistent, and they got a lot of complaints, the apes, about this. And they kind of changed the way Sunstreaker worked to be more consistent, but didn't do the same for Dust Up. And all they need to do is give Dust Up the same what Sunstreaker given. And so then Dust Up then should do. Listen, I don't expect us to do 9k damage, I'm honest here, in an area for 3+ not. It's very cheap, 9k is a lot, should be massively OP. But if that went to 6k or 5k for 3+ not, but it was consistent, I'd understand that. I'd get that. And we look at bots like Skids, and you can see there, calling a toxic airstrike, so it's damage in an area, dealing 529 acid, 5289 total. I'll take that. I'll take 5k damage from Dust Up in a large area. Okay, it's fire. I'm not big keen on fire at the minute. A lot of anti-fire, a lot of fire in the game. We don't really need it. But definitely needs consistency. Then we can look at, does it need more range? Does it need more damage? What else does it need? But first off, we need to sort consistency out. Once we've done that, we could have an okay bot. We could have a bot that could clear a decent area for 3+ not. It's something, I always talk about something a bit different. And I feel this bot is a bit different, but not quite good enough. So we could have a good bot on our hands if they can really set that damage for the same for the entire area. But let me know what you guys think. I have seen some people say that they like Dust Up as she is. This is a really good bot. I just don't see it personally. Never use Dust Up at any level of the game. Doesn't matter if it's a 4-star or 5-star or not. Just don't like the bot at all. But I know some people do like her. But let me know, how you use the bot, and why you think she's decent. Yeah, Twilight's bot. I'm confused with how it's doing damage. Yeah, same. Exactly. Cuddy Fox Mirage also needs a reboot, but Dust Up is worst. Yeah. That would mean the 5-star gets way too much damage. 5-star what? Dust Up? Or doesn't? What else? Jack, hey, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Good to see you, Mark. Costchito, thanks for joining. See you later. Bench warmer, Darkland support. Yeah. Soundwave Fireclaw, just lower the spread. Yeah, you could do that, but then it's a small area in it, really. So, I don't know. Berserk, but this bot has always sucked. They need to give it a focus zone or high damage. Yeah, but I think even make it a smaller zone, it just needs to be consistent. That's a given. Yeah, and Blade 19's bot wouldn't even use it for a team filler. Yeah, same. Next up. So we just spoke about Dust Up. But for a change, there's not one bot in testing for Legacy right now. There's 2. Which is a first. It's very rare we'll see this. But there's actually a second bot in testing, which we spoke about a couple of weeks back about it coming into testing. And that bot is Mirage. So Mirage is currently in testing, being tested for the next legacy bot, or thereabouts. So the big question is, how do we get 5-star Mirage up there to be in people's war teams, to be a good bot that people are going to look at? And we spoke through the week about the problem with Mirage. So I like Mirage a lot to Sunstreaker. Sunstreaker is fire. Mirage is electric. So is it that simple that we just make Mirage like Sunstreaker, make it electric? Is it that easy? 760 electric damage for 12 seconds, which means does about 9k damage as a 4-star. Sunstreaker does about 11.5k. So I can see it being there or thereabouts. The G1 for Sunstreaker, gain ability damage if a target, the flames spread. Mirage I think this is where it's lacking. I think this is the big problem with Mirage, is that the stealth is great. It gains stealth for 7 seconds every 15 seconds, which looks amazing. We'll take a look at it. But it just doesn't have enough utility to it. So put Mirage down if you keep an eye on him. He gets the famous G1 box. Or doesn't. Doesn't. Where's his box gone? The cool box. Where's the cool box gone? What? 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 Where's the what? That was one of my favourite things in the game. What? Disappointing. Next up, that'll be fixed. But let's look at his range. So we'll look at Sunstreaker and Mirage. You can see Mirage there doesn't quite have the range of Sunstreaker. So, to put it bluntly, so what does Mirage need? Now, as a simple, easy fix his G1 to do the square box, give him a range increase, make him a 5-star. I think that's easy win. But I always talk about new content being better than old content. We just don't need another Sunstreak Electric. I feel like he needs something else. I feel like he needs something that gives him a bit of an edge. I'm not too sure what that is yet. I just feel like making like Sunstreaker is a bit of a cop-out. It's just too easy. You know, we talk about 2.0 bots. It's not even a 2.0 bot. It's just a shift across, basically. I know that people are in playtests are pushing for cryo a lot and say, you know, we need more cryo in the game, and I kind of agree with that. I understand if we bring more cryo into the game, then Mirage will suit great with that. It's a great combo opportunity. I'm not saying take electric away, keep electric, it suits him. I'm not saying take the stealth away, great, it looks great, it suits him. What I am saying is give him some utility, something that gives him a bit of an edge over other gunners. What's going to make me go and want to play for this bot? Other than a bit of nostalgia. What's going to make me think this bot could take over from Sunstreaker in my team? What's going to make me go, this is the bot? That's a big question. And that's what I sort of put to the team. Can you do that? Can you be a bit innovative and make him a bit different, a bit better, and give him an edge that other bots don't have to make him desirable? So we'll keep you updated on the changes. It's currently in playtest. Not the 5-star version, but ideas around what people want. And over the coming weeks, I'll keep updated what people are talking about, what people are suggesting, and any changes that come by. So stay tuned. Try like giving cryo. I was talking to Freeze about this. That's all we get at the minute in playtest. Give it cryo. Give it cryo. That's all you hear. Honestly, give it cryo. Give everything cryo. Grandstan's but they had to get rid of the cool box due to budget cuts. See you later, Spen. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, Cuddy Fox, but I think Mirage and Cup should have had their abilities switched. I know, but I like the box. The box is cool. Yeah, Firepower, but no, I need my VFX. I agree. Yeah, but you got to think this. Why has no one noticed that? Because no one uses Mirage. That's why. Darklands, I want Wheeler. Darklands, given ally stealth. That's not a bad shout, you know. That's not a bad shout. That is not a bad shout, you know. If they gave it that, I'd go for it. I'm done. I'm gonna put that forwards. If it was in playtest, if you're in the chat, go and put it in right now. Please go and put it in right now. That's a good shout. Give it the closest ally stealth. Although, well, yeah, I don't mind it. Although, if that goes to a warrior, then your gunners are going to start taking the damage out of your healers because it makes them stealth. So I don't know, maybe. I don't mind it though. Don't mind it. Dojak's port, he could be good on defense if his normal attack would also be electrical. Why is that? I'm trying to think how we mean. Interesting. Firepower, you could put that box on them. Oh. Yeah, it's not possible though, is it? Or. Ooh. So I think someone mentioned that actually in playtest. Could Mirage create two versions of himself, like two more gunners for a set amount of time? Like two more Mirages pop out as well. Wow, that'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? It's like holograms, things like that, isn't it? That'd be pretty cool. I know that Hound has a hologram, which is pretty rubbish, but if it pops next to him and acts in the same distance and it pops the same one as him, like the same setup, but he's got like, you know, if he's got Nightstick or whatever, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That'd be good as well. I think we both agree, like we all agree, like something around, you know, stealth and hollows and things like that. That definitely suits him. Cuddy Fox, I'm blaming Callum for not pushing paddles more. Twilight's put, give an ally a stealth and a cryo aura that deals percentage damage. Yeah, the problem is though that if he's going to pick an ally for stealth, it'd probably be the closest bot to him, which would probably be a gunner or a healer usually around that thing. So giving it a cryo around it won't really work really well because they'll be sat back, won't there's a gunner. But I get you going with that, with electric and cryo, I get that. Darklands classic hollow screen from G1. Yeah. Blade 19, give him extra damage against shielded targets. I don't think he needs that really. I think you've got enough there that take away shields, things like that. I don't think you need that really. Dojak in combination with Scorponok's base defense power. Ah, yeah. Good idea, good point. Yeah. Cuddy Fox, give him something like that, like Blur has, but have him stationary instead of moving extra fast. Yeah, I get it, yeah. Interesting for sure. Okay, next up, let's crack on. Don't want to eat into Freeze's stream. So, they've also announced in playtest there'll be another combiner being worked on as a 5-star version. So, I did receive some news that Skyray will be the next 5-star combiner. So it's a bit confusing that this guy's in test. And that bot is, or combiner is, Autos Maximus and Bruticus. They're currently in testing, being worked on for 5-star versions. So obviously we just spoke about Mirage coming as a 5-star version, so we're going to be sort of prepped for that. But like I said, Skyrain's supposed to come in next. So I don't know what's happening. But this could be the next 5-star combiner, guys. So the big question is, what does this guy need? So let's go and give him a bit of a test against my base and see how he goes. So I'm just going to drop Optimus Maximus here. Right at the back here. See what he can do. So we've got the 2-star ability, which deals sends a powerful shockwave, dealing 2,920 normal damage to targets in a line and deals 7 damage to walls. We've got the Righteous Rage, which gives him a attack and movement speed, damage reduction shield, and a splash radius. And then we've got the rockets, which fire electric rockets, dealing 365 for 20 seconds and stacks if it hits multiple targets. So let's have a look at the 4-star ability first. Let's see if the rockets do double up at any point. So one rocket's hitting there. Another one there. One there. And a third one there. So that's a bit inconsistent that one's hit there and three's hit that one. So that's going to do an incredible amount of damage really to one target but doesn't need to. Let's have a look at the stomp over there. There's the stomp. And let's see his shield. See what he does. Decent amount of damage there. 3-star ability. There we go. So I think the first thing we need to discuss is, what do we think the use of this combiner is going to be? So I don't like the idea of having a defensive combiner that's only good on defense, but I think it needs a defensive ability that's good. And the question is, which one will that be? So if we look at, let's start with 2-star. Send a shockwave, dealing minimum amount of damage, 7 damage to walls. That's going to be no good on defense at all, so let's skip that. The 3-star, attack and movement speed, damage reduction, splash radius, 50% damage for 10 seconds. It's okay. It's not bad. I can maybe use that in an outpost. And then fire 4 missiles that prioritize enemy defenses and disable them for 365 damage. So that does about, for one rocket, does about 7k damage, which is decent. Obviously, if it hits one target with 2, that's 14. If it's one target with 3, that's 21. So obviously they'll get a 5-star ability on top of this as well. But let's just stick to what we've got already and work out what we'd need to do. So let's look at the 2-star ability first. Now for me, this is a maxed out combiner. Yeah? So for me, a maxed out combiner that specializes in sending a powerful shockwave, dealing 3k damage, which is nothing, but 7 times damage to walls, should take out a wall structure. So you can see there that it's still leaving a third of the health of the walls. So for me, straight away, that needs to go from around 3k damage to 4k damage, just so it takes out walls. And then you can maybe use it to path your bots and change the way that you maybe even attack a base. If you can take all the walls out at the start with a combiner, and then path your bots around, avoiding the combiner, then it's a whole new dimension to using the combiner. It's a whole new reason. Rather than popping outposts and popping combiners, dropping your combiner to combat it and using your combiner at some point halfway through the battle, you could probably use your combiner at the front of the battle, at the very start, to clear an area, to do damage to walls, and path differently. And I like the idea of that, but it has to get rid of walls as a bare minimum, as an ability. Next up is the 3-star ability, and the 3-star ability for me is absolutely brilliant. I don't mind the damage reduction. I don't mind the damage it does. You can see there's getting a shield. Do a great amount of damage in an area, and it can take out a good cluster. You can see there. So I don't mind that ability at all. For the 4-star ability, I think the big thing is that it needs some consistency. You can see there, I've just fired them all, and I don't even know where they hit. Let's try that again. Rocket scope again. And you can see there, they've only hit 2 targets again. So it definitely needs to be some consistency. For me, personally, I'd maybe increase the amount of rockets, reduce the damage, and increase the radius of where they can hit. Now, I know people won't be happy that we reduce the damage down, but don't forget, if it hits 2 targets, it will still do a decent amount of damage. So the question is, would you rather it do 14k damage to 1 target, and that's it? Or would you rather it do 7k damage to multiple targets? I know a lot of people use it sort of combo, and people use it in combiners to take out an area, but you can still use the 4-star ability to hit an area, and then couple it with the 3-star ability to sort of take that area out as well. So for me, it's all about comboing abilities together. So the 5-star needs to link in, doing some AoE damage, giving it some protection maybe, but doing a good amount of area damage. The 2-star ability does damage in an area, even if it's in a straight line. The rushing attack does damage in an area, and so does the 4-star ability. So I feel like this could actually be a good combiner. I don't think it's a million miles away, you know. I think we really overlook this and go, oh yeah, he's pretty awful. But I just think some tweaks are making pretty good. They're making something different. Listen, we don't want another Ruination. We don't want another Computron. We don't want another anything. We want this to be a bit unique. And I think giving it that wall damage, giving it the electric damage, maybe adding electric to the rest of it maybe, or making everything cryo even maybe. But we can change the elements. That's easy enough. But I think making the damage consistent, that's a key word for me lately. Making the damage consistent, making him survive, and most importantly for me, that 2-star ability, making it do good damage to walls that eliminates walls. I think that'd be a key component of him, make him actually useful. But the 5-star ability is open for a complete discussion. There's nothing been said yet, just a few ideas flying around. So what's your idea for a 5-star ability? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Oh, Freezer joined just for his stream. Good to see you, buddy. I'm sure a lot of people will be going on to Freezer's stream after mine. What's everyone put him? Downland's talking about electrical fences on walls. I don't know about core. Maybe I don't like cores on walls, but if you could do something with a combiner, maybe a Titan, maybe to give something to your walls, wouldn't be too bothered about that. It would have to be for all your walls. I don't like the idea of putting power cores on each wall segment. That's a bit silly. But putting something on your walls, I won't mind that. Dojak's put his 4-star has been power crept. Could use a boost, damage or more rockets. Yeah, pretty much. Blade 19's but if you were talking about him doing damage to walls, he should not be released until HQ19 comes out, and we know how much it's going to take to destroy walls. Yeah, but I think that what then might happen is we'll get level 30 combiners, I think. So what we can do then is we can just make it incremental so that he can still do walls at HQ19, and then it goes up so that when he's maxed out, he can take out HQ19 walls. So 18 walls at 25, 19 at 30, and that'll make it fair. What else? Yeah, drill horn and nose cone still help in terms of walls. Yeah, true. Dojack Sport just returned to the game. Good to see you. Yep. Is that a new mic? No, it's a new arm though. It's a new arm for the mic, so it's in a better position. That's all. Berserk's put Brusca's ground pound is really cool. Covers distance, runs for decent time. If that keeps up the damage, you'll be okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. T-Tank's put, yeah, he needs the variability and the 4-star ability, more target. Maybe I don't duplicate the target. Yeah, agree with that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I've spoke to Freeze earlier. It's only a checkup of his dog, thankfully. I was like, oh god. But he said it's just a checkup. He's alright, though. Good to know. Grand Transport, I think his 5-star ability should be dropping hollows of all his component parts. So someone suggested that. But is it a bit too much like Ruination, though? You know? I don't know. Maybe. It depends. If it dropped all gunners, I'd be more inclined to take it rather than dropping a mixture like Ruination does. So it just needs to be a bit different. Again, I don't want the same as something else. I want something a bit different, personally. Tracks, can you imagine the time required to upgrade combiners from 25 to 30? Yeah, but it is what it is, isn't it? You know. Cool. Okay, last subject of the night before you all go and watch Freeze's stream. Let's look at the upgraded Sideways. So last week we covered Sideways, and I gave a bit of a damning verdict, saying that he wasn't very useful. It was a 0.8 bot, a 0.9 even, not as good as what we've already got. Compared him to Blur, compared him to Cup, and just said it's simply not good enough. There's better bots we already have. So the big question is, what's changed? It's right before the event. It's very last minute. So have the apes or the Odos pulled it out the bag and made him relevant in the last week they've had to do this? So last week we looked at the bot, and in terms of the explanation here, nothing much has changed. Teleport, gaining disabled immunity and placing a swarm of nanites at the destination that deals cryo damage. Okay. That causes 6% attack and movement speed to enemies for 10 seconds. We've also got a G1, which again has not changed much. So I've said we've had some changes to him, but there's nothing that jumps out that says it's changed. So what's changed? So let's drop Sideways. So if you remember last week how it worked like Blur. That you rush to a target, it dropped nanites, and then you rushed away. So let's see what's changed. So now, you don't have to hit a target. You can actually hit into free space like Cup. So the big question is, with these changes, does it make him better? Does it make him more relevant? So here's my sort of verdict on this. So if you're going to use the nanites, you want to rush to a target. So you drop the nanites on a defense. If you're going to rush over here with the nanites, why would you want to drop the nanites in a free area where there's no defenses? They're not going to do much damage to anything. You can see there, this really low HP building right next to it, and it's doing nothing. So why would you want to jump to an area where there's no defenses? The nanites become a bit useless. Now, I understand now you've got a choice between jumping in a free area and jumping to a defense. So, does it make him better than Blur? I don't know, maybe, but Blur does damage to targets. People that use Blur can rush to a target, they can sack, but do damage to a target. And although Sideways does damage to a target, it can rush to a free thing, but is he that much better than Blur? I don't know. So then we go, okay, is he better than Cup? No. Definitely not better than Cup. So my verdict's kind of not changed, really. That if you're going to use this guy for sack, there's better bots out there. And if anything, the way he sacks now is less favourable. When he was like Blur, it was a lot like Blur. Maybe not better than Blur, but a lot like Blur. Now he's not, but more like Cup. But because he's more like Cup, it's even less favourable. So Cup is more favourable than Blur, but this guy is pretty much the same as Blur, but not as good as Cup still. But when he could rush to a target, it was still around nearly as good as Blur, but not as good as Cup. So nothing's changed. Although they've changed where you can place him, nothing's changed. They've made a change to it that doesn't really change the bot as in making him that much better, really. And if anything, the nanites being put in a random area makes no sense to me. So, although I don't mind the change, some people will prefer it in terms of sack. Why would you go for this bot? Because we all know that 5-star Cup will be coming out soon. So, spend $40, $50 for this event and get this bot, which is not as good as 4-star Cup that most people have already got, or wait for 5-star Cup and just go get that. So, sadly, still a no for me. It's still pretty woeful content. There's still a lot they could have done with this bot and chose not to. I think a lot of the ideas on playtests about him rushing in, rushing back were feasible. Well, maybe not feasible, but warranted and, should have been implemented. But with the time, they simply couldn't. With the time constraints, it was at very last minute. And I think that's a big other problem. So, for me, still not going for this bot. Still not impressed with it. And I feel like it'd be another bot that just gets lost in the low levels of being just left on your D, E, F, G team. Another bot that will just be left lower teams. You're not really going to use. Just a squad filler, if that. And I can't see him being much of a meta bot, sadly. But have I missed something? As always, guys, let me know in the comments if you see some utility to this guy. Is he better now? Is he that much better now that we can, hit in a free space rather than a target? Or is it just a little change that the playtesters have asked for to try and keep him happy, but it's not going to do much? Let me know. Yeah, what was that? I know. I know. Yeah, Dartlands has put blur damage all targets along the path, captain and range that actually destroys targets. Yeah. What else? Yeah, Freezer puts just something similar. Nope. Dartlands put pass, play normal to put 40 to 50k for easy Pokemon Go weekend. Fair enough. Sound Blast has put I'm wanting a Sky Boom sealed or Star Saber will work with Sideways. We can try and equip it, but nah. What's a passing gas? You mean when the speaker went off? I mean mumbling. I don't know which one you mean. They're both embarrassing. What was I doing again? You made me go. I get lost now. Sky Boom on Sideways. Is he not ranged? I think he's ranged, so range special. So no. No Sky Boom. No Sky Boom. Only ranged and melees. Twilight's put still not really going to bid. Just for the fact I'm waiting till the batch release, in which I hope they give him stealth or a shield. I doubt it though. Not anytime soon. T-Tank's put combo with some support damage abilities. I don't know about that. Berserk's put this bot needs to be able to teleport back. Yeah, I agree. And have nanites move towards targets. I agree with that as well. Both good ideas, if fair. Yeah, Dartlands put Sky Boom is melee and Star Saber's also melee. So yeah, no go for him, sadly. Yeah, I think Berserk's hit the nail on the head there. I think the bot needs to be able to teleport back. I think that was a big thing for me. That would have been good. And then it's moving, obviously like a swarm, moving outwards. That would have been pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think if they would have had something along the lines of where the nanites spread and increase if you do something or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the law, but maybe like, I like things like, maybe if you had a certain bot that's similar in the law to that, then it would increase the nanite something, it would double or something spread. I don't know. I just think because we're a lot more done with this to make it a bit more exciting. Berserk's bot, I don't know why they don't want to just make good bots. Shoes are dead obvious. Yeah. I think that when this bot was released, I thought it was really obvious who was like, and that it wasn't as good as him. And I said this, it baffles me how I said, I reckon you could give me any bot in the game and I can roughly describe the ability. Roughly. I might not get the exact numbers right, but every single combat, every single bot, I can describe what they do. I don't think developers will be able to do that. I really don't. I think they'll struggle. I don't think they know all the bots that are in the game already and what they do. Because I don't think you can release this bot and not understand and know it's a bit like Blur, a bit like Cup, will be used for sack, and isn't as good as either. I don't understand how you can't know that as a player or as a developer before it's even hit playtest. And so surely you've got to look and go, it needs to be better than Blur and Cup. It needs to be. That's dangerous territory for me, better than Cup. But if you go in that route and that's where you want to go with it, you should be going, right, okay, this is what's going to be used, we believe. I know that people find clever ways of using stuff sometimes. I get that. But because it teleports, because it rushes, I kind of get it's like them too. Surely they would have gone, right, okay, is it as good as those two have already got out already? Is it better than those? What's going to make people go for this bot other than just collecting it? What's going to make people actually go for it because it's a good bot? And I don't think that conversation was had at all. And that's what's worrying for me. Do you know what's funny? Is Dalton's just put, I could take a year break, come back and still barely dent my stockpile of crystals, chip shards to catch up missing bots. And the funny thing is, and Freezers can back me up on this, is I actually said in that chat with Callum today, I could leave this game for 9 months, come back, and unless it was a HQ upgrade, fair enough, I can't stop that. But I could come back and still be relevant exactly where I am right now. With a 9-month break, which is crazy, really. The only thing that would stop that is obviously a HQ increase. If I'm starting behind, then I'm starting at a loss out. But yeah. Dojack's put, they should have done something with him being an infiltrator, like have defense bots ignore him. You guys know the law better than this bot than me. It's not my thing. My thing's G1. I've always said that. But yeah. Anything. Cuddy Fox has put, I think that Scavenger would have been better against Sideways and put Hotspot and Wheeljack as opposites from Armada. What do you mean by that, bud? Exactly. Yeah, Andrew Stevenson, 4-star Cup is better than the new bot. That's not even released. Yeah, that's a fair point. A 4-star bot is better than the new bot, which is sad, really. I know that Cup is quite overpowered, so I know it's dangerous ground. But that's why you make it different. That's why you go, listen, we can't make another Cup. We can't make 5-star Cup because 5-star Cup is coming. So we also don't want to release a bot now where we're like, okay, this is an upgrade from Cup, and then 5-star Cup comes along and people are like, well, we've already got a bot that's like 5-star Cup, so don't need that now. So you need to stay well away from Cup and work out what's going to happen. How to be different. And you know what's funny, Tracks, is you said about get Tex to come back. I actually said that as well in that conversation. You should get some of the old school players back that were good testers back in the day. The likes of Tex, the likes of Spar and Andy, and the likes of Papa Blaz, and Stay Puff, and all them sort of players, the old school Wales that were in playtest. It was a lot better back then. We got a lot more done. It wasn't a nice place. It could be quite toxic at times because we put it down as it is. But it was good because we got stuff done. I said that. Grind Transport and then it's just released 5-star Cup already. Yep. We'll probably see that and then we're like, oh, why did you even need that bot anyway? Yeah, Dance Sport. HU19 slowed down will only exist for a few months. Got 10 building skips. Yeah, fair point. Fair point. I've got quite a few building skips and Alloy and Energon, so that's a fair point. fair point. Yeah. Okay, guys, well, that is it for today's stream, guys. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit a like on the stream, and don't forget to subscribe is the most important part. And if you want to support me, then consider becoming a member, and you'll have access to all my videos as and when they are released. But for now, thank you for joining. Go and check out Freeze's stream, guys. Straight after mine, be ready in about 20 minutes. Think you're ready to go? Go and check it out. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.